I took every drug known to man at the same time to stimulate every corner of my brain. And this was the result.
Hola, nerds. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Mass. I am your brother, Jay, Bishop of Bull Moose, Cardinal of Criterion, Abbot of Arrow, Archbishop of Arrow, Archbishop of Olam, and I'm here to give you guys some recommendations. It is, of course, February, and it's a new month, and I have some movie recommendations that I want to give to you. There's a theme this month, as you may be able to imagine. I won't spoil it. I'm sure you'll catch on very quickly once I start listing the movies out. You'll be able to tell what the theme is, but just to give you a little bit of a hint, I'm drinking a black lager. Let's see how black it really is. I've got a glass to pour it in tonight. Normally, I don't pour my beer into glasses when I'm recording these videos because I don't want to accidentally knock them over and make a fool of myself for the internet, because nothing I ever do or say in these videos makes a fool of me. Now, that is looking pretty dark. That looks much more like a stout than a lager. I'm not a big stout guy. I don't drink the stouts. They're too heavy. What's the other one that's heavy like a stout? I don't drink the stouts. I know they're popular this time of year. I can't stand them, but I did get a black lager in keeping with the theme of the month, you know? Let's give it a try. Let's see how it tastes. It's very malty. I'm more of a hoppy kind of guy. I like IPAs. I couldn't find a black IPA, so I got a black lager. Black IPA feels like it's a little bit more of a rarity. It's fine. It's not offensive like a stout would be. You know, they say once you go black, you never go back, but honestly, I can't see myself drinking more of these. Like after this video, I'm really just doing it for the punchline. Anyway, first movie I'm going to recommend to you for the month of February is a lesser known film. I actually hadn't heard of this until quite recently. It's from 2010, so it's already like 15, 16 years old. It is Black Death. Black Death, starring Eddie Redmayne and Sean Bean. I know it's like Sean Bean all over this cover, but it's actually Eddie Redmayne's film. It's his movie. Sean Bean is really just a supporting role in this film, but it's good stuff. This film actually wound up being a lot better than I originally expected. I thought it was going to be just a complete piece of shit. I thought I was really just watching it ironically, like tongue-in-cheek, like this is going to be stupid and I'm going to make fun of it later. Turned out to be a lot better than I thought it would be. It was maybe a little unsatisfying in the end. I'm not going to spoil anything for you people. I don't know how many of you have actually seen this film. It is, like I said, a lesser-known film. I don't remember it getting a whole lot of marketing push back in 2010. I think maybe circa 2010, Eddie Redmayne wasn't quite as big. He hadn't done the Fantastic Beasts movies yet. He hadn't done that movie where he plays Stephen Hawking yet. I don't know. I haven't seen the Stephen Hawking movie. But anyway, if you guys have seen the Stephen Hawking movie, does he go to Epstein Island in the Stephen Hawking movie? Is that part of, it should be part of his biopic. They need to edit that in. Anyway, I didn't think this was a bad movie. I thought Black Death was a bit of like a mashup of like a little bit of horror, there's a little bit of action, and there's like a little bit of teenage edgelord atheism sprinkled in there a little bit too. Not really atheism, but like the Satan worshipers, the village of Satan worshipers versus the people sent by the Pope to investigate, i.e., fuck those people up a little bit if it turns out that they be worshiping Satan, and they do be worshiping some Satan. So anyway, I don't think I've spoiled anything. I think I have just kind of set the table for you so you have an idea going in what's in this buffet. I think if you can find Black Death, as I did, for $8 at Bull Moose, and it came with a slip. I mean, for $8 at Bull Moose, look at this thing. It's got this holographic slip, right? And then everything is, I don't know if you can see, everything is embossed. Look at you can see the embossing when the light goes over it. Anyway, This was $8 at Bull Moose, and it came with this impeccable slipcover that's like the whole thing. I mean, even the backside, look, even the backside's holographic. I mean, I would have paid $8 for the slip alone. It came with a movie. Anyway, you know, go in with low expectations, don't pay much for it, and I think you'll have a fine time. Maybe have a few of these too. Drink your black lager as you watch a movie about the Black Death plague. Finally, I will say that Black Death felt very historically accurate, at least for me, as I'm not an expert in history, especially of Western Europe in the 14th century, but it felt very accurate to me in that everybody in the movie was English, and they looked like the people that lived in Britain in 1328 or whatever year it is. Anyway, next film I'd like to recommend to you. We're going to take a little bit of a turn. I've got all genres represented here. I'd like to give you a little comedy here to balance out, refresh your palate, cleanse your palate from the more serious film that is Black Death. And I'd like for you to check out Black Sheep, 1996 comedy film starring David Spade and the late, great Chris Farley. Lord knows it's hard to watch a Chris Farley film and not miss the guy a little bit. There's a lot of nostalgia that I have for Black Sheep, as well as other comedies of that era. Happy Gilmore, Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, a lot of comedies of that, like early to mid to late 90s, you know, that 94 to 97 window right there. Because I remember going to see all those movies in the theaters on release night in many cases, release weekend at least. Good replay value, at least when you were 16 and you enjoyed smoking marijuana like me and all my friends did. So you would just, you know, you'd get high and you'd watch Black Sheep over and over again. And so there's a lot of nostalgia. And then, you know, losing Chris Farley a few years later, I think Chris Farley died in what, 98? I think it was 98 that Farley died. So, you know, losing Farley at late 97, early 98, something like that, you know, it sort of tinges something like Black Sheep with a little bit of melancholy as well, because you know you're looking at this hilarious comedic actor who by all accounts had a very big heart. And not just in like a cardiomegaly type of way, but I mean, you know, in the figurative sense. But, you know, looking at this guy, this actor, in his final couple of years of life, really, as he was just burgeoning into this this film career as a comedian, who knows where he would be now if he hadn't died 28 years ago or whatever it is. So, you know, there's a little bit to balance out. I mean, Black Sheep is still a very funny movie, but it is hard not to feel a little bit of wistful about the film as well. Tim Matheson is in this one as well. He's Caucasian. Now, I don't think Black Sheep is quite as good as Tommy Boy. That's just the nature of the beast. It's still a very enjoyable movie, lots of funny moments. I do love the line where what is David Spade says, you are the angel of death, right? Or you are the black angel of death, or something like that.
Are you or are you not the black angel of death?
I think you got to watch Black Sheep as a double feature with Tommy Boy. You do Tommy Boy, you do Black Sheep, you drink several of these, and you definitely eat an edible or two, and you're going to have a great time. You're not going to be mad at me for recommending Black Sheep. And if you haven't seen Black Sheep, you're kind of a weirdo. You need to get on it, because it's been like damn near, that's, I think, 30th anniversary. I think February, it was either February or March of 1996. Look it up. I didn't bother to, but look it up. I think it's February or March of 1996. So this is the 30th anniversary of Black Sheep. You've had 30 years. There's definitely something wrong with you, and you need to please get on that, okay? I think it's growing on me a little bit. Either that or that's the blood alcohol content is rising, and I don't care. Next film I'm going to recommend to you is Black Christmas. I know, it's a Christmas movie. I also know I'm autistic about watching holiday films with the holiday that they represent. Yes, it's a Christmas movie, but it's a Black Christmas movie, so it fits with the theme. You could be like my kids. They're still singing Christmas songs. They're singing like rocking around the Christmas tree and shit, like a little late for that type of thing, but you can watch it ironically now is what I'm trying to say. Margot Kidder is in this movie, and she plays a hot mess of an alcoholic. I like to think of it as being kind of autobiographical. If you know much about her, I think she herself had a few demons that she was sort of playing a version of herself in this film. It's only a shame as she left her clothes on this whole movie. But Black Christmas, yeah, check it out. There's a very nice steelbook. In fact, I was at my Walmart, I don't know, 2 days ago, picking up some things, and there it was. Black Christmas was still sitting there on the steelbook shelf. So go get the steelbook, the 4K steelbook from Walmart while you can, and watch Black Christmas. Next movie that I would like to recommend, and you're going to call me crazy for this one, even more so than Black Christmas, because Black Christmas is not temporally appropriate. Black Christmas belongs in December, and it is February, but this one is just not appropriate on any level. This one is, at least Black Christmas is a good movie. The next movie I'm going to recommend to you is Black Widow. Obviously, Scarlett Johansson's in this one. Florence Pugh, is she Caucasian? The name Pugh is a white-ass name, I gotta tell you. That is a cracker-ass name if I've heard a cracker-ass name, although, despite my pallor, I'm actually not an expert on cracker-ass names, but Florence Pugh sounds pretty white. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson, she got red hair. She definitely a whitey. I think Black Widow gets a bad rap, but I don't think it's as bad as people usually say. I think the main problem I had with Black Widow was that it should have been released prior to Infinity War. I think Black Widow would have been so much more well received if it had come out a little ways after Civil War, maybe just before Infinity War. I think if Black Widow had been released when Black Panther was released, 2 months or 3 months before Infinity War, I think it would have done gangbusters, because it does kind of pick up the story of Black Widow. She's one of the main 6 Avengers in my heart, at least. It continues the story of her kind of post-Civil War. I would very much like to have seen it then versus seeing it after Endgame, and Endgame really kind of stole the thunder of this movie. It's like you're going back to, it's like a postscript after Endgame, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, Endgame was like the big nut, right? It's like after you've watched Endgame and you've rolled off of her and you're smoking a cigarette, it's like, I'm not interested anymore. There's no need to keep rubbing it. It's fine. I just want to have a sandwich and go to sleep. I'm really done with Marvel right now, at least for a while, because like, I'm ticklish down there after Endgame, and I just was not in the mood for Black Widow at that point. But if you got me earlier with the Black Widow, I would have been down. You already knew that she was dead at that point as a character, so it just seemed kind of like a pointless venture. Like I said, kind of a PS tacked on to the end there, and it really shouldn't have been. Now, the movie itself was a little silly at times. I think there was a little bit of, maybe the first bit of the movie, there was some kind of like more serious sort of like Jason Bourne style of espionage, action, thriller elements, which I felt like were good. I enjoyed those. Those were more well received. But once the other characters like Red Guardian and stuff started getting introduced, and it really became this really kind of silly family comedy element to it, it got kind of stupid. It got kind of silly and stupid at that point. Yeah, Black Widow's not fantastic, but it was a fuck ton better than the Eternals. And I prefer it to Shang-Chi as well. A stupid dragon at the end of Shang-Chi, get out of here. Anyway, I got plenty of complaints about Shang-Chi. I won't even go into that because I'll extend this video by an extra 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep this one tight. So Black Widow, check out Black Widow in February. Now, the last film I want to recommend to you, I'm giving you a cool 5 movies to watch in February. The last one I'm going to recommend, this is probably like the biggest one. If you don't watch any of the 4 that I just told you to watch, A, you really should listen to me. I am the Bishop of Bull Moose after all. It's part of your penance. But this is the one. If you don't watch the other 4, please do yourself a favor and watch this one. Black Mass. I'm going to recommend Black Mass from 2015. Of course, this one stars Johnny Depp. I wouldn't call him unrecognizable. He's done bald before. If you've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, they did bald on Johnny Depp for that movie. He was playing Hunter S. Thompson, who was famously quite bald through the top of the head here. He was doing kind of a similar, bald through the top of the head thing as Whitey Bulger. And, so we have Black Mass as a very serious mafia gangster film. And upon its release in 2015, it was fairly well regarded critically, even if critics weren't doing backflips over it, and people were praising Johnny Depp for his performance. He'd come hot off of like a decade of basically being the Mad Hatter and Jack Sparrow for a long time. So this was kind of a nice return to form for him, getting back to a little bit more serious acting. And so he did garner a little bit of praise for his performance here. For many years, he was just seen as like this quirky and eccentric collaborator of guys like Tim Burton or Terry Gilliam. I mean, he was Hunter S. Thompson, as I mentioned, Willy Wonka, the Mad Hatter. He was Sweeney Todd. And of course, he was Jack the Fuck Sparrow. I mean, nobody forgets that. And he was nominated for an Academy Award for his first role as Jack Sparrow, but it got kind of old kind of quick. And so, with this film, I think critics did appreciate his acting, his performance in this one. Again, they didn't go crazy over it. He is a white guy after all. But Black Mass, I think, may have been overshadowed, unfortunately. I think it's a little bit lesser seen, and maybe it's not very well talked about these days. People don't really talk about Black Mass, but I think that's because maybe it was overshadowed by the enormity of Depp's previous iconography. I can't say enormity without using Werner Herzog's voice. This film was overshadowed by the enormity of Depp's previous iconography. I think Black Mass really could have been like set to become an eventual classic, if not an immediate one. It would have eventually become, I think, a classic. But unfortunately, Amber Heard went and accused Johnny Depp of being like some abusive wife beater, and that's just wild to me because Johnny Depp couldn't beat up my 3-year-old. He's got biceps that actually make my dick look big. That's saying something. That's an achievement. So I just feel like, Black Mass kind of withered on the vine a little bit. I mean, I don't think it had much of a life after its theatrical run. It did modest business in its theatrical run. I think it made its money back and then some a little bit. It wasn't extremely profitable, but at the same time, it really kind of died very shortly after its release because there was a little while there where nobody wanted to touch Johnny Depp. It was brief, thankfully, but I think this film did kind of wind up suffering. This movie could have been mentioned in the same breath as like Donnie Brasco, which is another Johnny Depp gangster movie, or The Departed, which is another Boston gangster movie, or like Road to Perdition, which is another Irish gangster movie. So there were some kind of like mid-level gangster films, I think, that Black Mass could have slotted its way into. I mean, it was never going to rise to the heights of something like Goodfellas or The Godfather Part 2 or something like that, but it really would have slotted in there very nice in that like middle rung of like B tier, A- tier, like pretty solid gangster films, pretty solid crime films with like good production value, solid performances, but maybe not legendary like Goodfellas or something like that. But to Black Mass's credit, it was filmed principally on location in Boston, which is fantastic. Johnny Depp is good, very solid performance by Johnny Depp. Maybe nothing that was like super memorable, no super memorable lines, but even still, it was a solid true story of the Boston mob. And Amber Heard fucked it up. Amber Heard fucked it up. It was just too new when she dropped those allegations. And so it didn't really have a life. It just kind of came out. People were just starting to pick up on Black Mass, and then she was like, boom, yeah, by the way, Johnny Depp picked me up over his head and threw me across the room. Bitch, that man can't even pick up his own scarves that he wears. I think we owe Johnny Depp an apology, and I think we should do it by watching Black Mass. So that's why I'm recommending it to you now in February. There's a 4K out there, and I want to say it's probably only, I don't know, 23, 24 bucks. So go check out the 4K. I haven't seen the 4K yet. Maybe it looks really good. I kind of want to go check it out now. So let's watch it together, okay? Give me a call, leave me a comment down there. Let me know when you're watching it. We'll sync up. We'll watch it together, just like girls that live together as roommates in their periods. We'll sync up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this list of Black movies for you to enjoy during Black History Month. I also hope that my 3 Black subscribers don't unsubscribe from my channel. I'm just being cheeky, guys, I swear. It was all in good humor. I actually do have a couple of Black patrons, and I love you guys. I don't unsubscribe. I love you guys. I'm going to drink this Black lager in honor of you people. What do you mean, you people? That's the only time that I could even say that, right? Because it's Black History Month. Everybody, please honor and respect Black History Month by watching these Black movies. Just kidding. Go watch Blade and the Equalizer trilogy in Training Day, you terrible racists. I'm going to drink this and probably regret this video later. I'll catch you guys on the flippy dippy.
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, you're morally reprehensible, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid, you have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell.
Ugh. I'm going to throw up now.